Hello y'all, welcome back to the 30 Welcome back to my channel. So happy that you're here, whether you're new or you've been here before. Like, everyone's welcome in the 30 something club. Y'all, we made it. It is finally the last day of January. January has been 1 year long, but we finally made it to the last day. And this felt like the perfect vlog or video to talk about January and what this first month has looked like, what it's been like in my first month on YouTube. She already feels great. But just my first month changing my life. The first month of 2025. So let's do a check-in, let's do an update. So grab your tea, grab your coffee, or grab your wine. Or if you're like me and you got a couple more hours of dry January, just get a cup of water. Let's do a January check-in. So right off the rip, January has been extremely long. I don't know if everyone else has felt that way, but I felt like when we were only 2 weeks in, I was like, how do we still have 2 more weeks of this month? It just felt utterly ridiculous. I feel like I was also met like with this weird, like my energy coming into the new year, because I had been so down last year, was like very excited, feeling very like positive about myself and like what I was gonna do for this year. And then it was like immediately the world was just like, no. Like so much bad news, so many things. And I mean, obviously, like there's always things going on, but it just felt like it was back to back at the beginning of this month. And I felt this confliction of, well, I'm feeling pretty good internally, and like I feel so much better than I did last year. I'm less anxious, I'm not depressed, like I'm ready to go. But then coupled with I care about the world and I'm empathetic, and there were just things just going wrong, one thing after another. And then we had the election, and then recording this today with the plane crash. And I don't talk about this a lot because I didn't really grow up there, but I was born in DC, but I have a lot of family in Virginia, DC, Maryland. My cousins, like that's their airport. Like they live 20 minutes from there. And my cousin works in the airline industry. So even that, it just seems like it's one thing after the other. So I've been having a hard time like balancing feeling good, but also feeling like sad and feeling the weight of the world. So I think that that's been like a constant theme for me, is the balancing act of how to care and show up for the world and want a better place that we live in, but also giving myself space to feel happy or proud of myself, or continue to do the work that I promised myself I was going to do this year. So that was like the number one thing or like theme for me for this month. But outside of that, getting into everything else, we reached our 1 month on YouTube, which is crazy. I started at the end of December. So it wasn't like a New Year goal. It was just like, once I got the DGI, I was like, let's get to work. So that was in December. And we are at 500 subscribers, y'all.
We're unstoppable. Let's go, let's go.
Thank y'all so much. I cannot believe in a month it's 500 of us in here in the 30 something club, hanging out, chit chatting, yapping, living life, figuring out, navigating, doing the things, figuring out the things. I'm so thankful, and I love it here. I love it here. This platform has already given me just such a sense of peace and freedom, and just like I'm getting creative, I'm learning new things, I'm learning how to edit, I'm figuring out what my vision is of how to tell my story online. I feel like we talk in the comments, actually. Like I felt, and this maybe is like the second thing of the year, I felt like I've had a very weird relationship with social media, and it only got weirder with this year, with the 5-second TikTok ban that we know was just a freaking stunt. Like it's just so much things have been making me feel like, well, where's my place and how do I belong on social media? When I first came onto social media, it was to be social, it was to share. I always came online, it was transparent. I talked about anxiety, I talked about depression, like I talked about just everything, and people were receptive and people responded, and we would talk to each other. We were social on social media. And now I have posted this the other day, like it feels like watch media. It feels like you just watch, and not even in no hater type of way. Like sometimes it's just so mindless because we're so consumed and so online. You just scroll, you see your friend, you like it, you keep going. You don't read the caption that they just said is the worst week of their life and they don't know how they're gonna move forward. And so you're not engaging in that because we're just watching and we just keep scrolling. Or the algorithm, and like, I don't even be seeing some of my friends post till 2-3 days later, and I'm like, what do you mean 2 days ago? Like, why am I just now seeing this? So that's a whole nother thing. So I felt such a weird relationship to social media lately, but I have found solace here on YouTube. Like, I feel like we really chat in the comments. It's not a ton of comments, but everyone that does talk back is like, oh, you really watched the video and you took this, and like we can talk about it. Or people DM me about my YouTube channel, which I really appreciate. Or even on Threads now, I found some solace. People just chatting and yapping over there, being so supportive. One, I could talk about my YouTube channel on there and it gets support, and I find other YouTubers, hey, if y'all are in here right now watching, I've been subscribing to so many of y'all and watching your videos, and I'm just excited about the community here. So that's been a big thing for me too. On a more fun note, I guess, I've been working on intentionality in everything I do, in every aspect of my life. I'm realizing like these big overarching goals that I have, a lot of little things go into it that make it easier to obtain. So how it feels like waking up early doesn't correlate to one of my goals, it does. Or like taking my vitamins, like if I'm taking my iron and my energy's better, and then I can actually have a very productive work day. That all is for a better, greater picture. But I realize it's not just like body and health and sleep stuff, it's talking to my friends, it's checking on my family. Like, I've started to add those things into my calendar, which I mentioned, and it's been great. Like checking in with friends, like being on the phone with them, just making sure that they're good, or just making sure I'm checking in with my parents, like, or my grandparents. Like I texted my grandma yesterday just to check on her. Like, it feels good. It feels, I feel less anxious. I think that it helps to just know how people are doing, the people that I love, and like not feel like I'm moving so much or moving so fast that I can't check in on my people. Like, even if I have to schedule it out, hello, welcome to 30. Sometimes you got to schedule out a phone call or a check-in, and that's totally fine. But even with that, I've been trying to be more intentional with my partner. Like, even like, it's easy like when you live with a partner to be like, well, we're together all the time, but like, no, you need to date. You need to date. You need to go out, you need to get out the house. Like, you can't just spend time. And even if like we're like right now for this year, we really want to be big on saving money and budgeting and all those great things. But it's like, okay, we can figure out ways to still date each other. And so I'm proud to say this month we went on a date every week, which we scheduled out and we knew what we were doing. And I felt like it's just helpful just to know, like, so if we are like a little distant because we're busy with work on Wednesday or Thursday, like we know our date is coming up and we'll have time to like decompress and really like just be with each other and not talk about work or whatever. Like, we could just be together and be like, this is our date time. Like, let's just be in our date and let's be in our vibe. In addition to that, we have been on our film noir, honey. Me and my boyfriend, as of filming this video, have watched 14 movies in January. And I really do think by the time I post this tomorrow, we'll be at 15. I do think so. Are we blurry? Hold on now. Hold on. Okay. We saw 200 Cigarettes. It's an old movie, but we never seen it. Roman J. Israel Esquire. We saw that, never seen it. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Never saw that. None of these I've seen until, I'll name the ones I've seen already. Secret Life of Walter Mitty, All That Jazz, which honestly, how have I never watched All That Jazz? All my musical theater girlies, stand up. Why y'all didn't tell me to watch All That Jazz? What an incredible piece of work. How insane. What even was that? I felt so much. I almost had an anxiety attack at the end. Like, oh my goodness. What a film. If you've seen it, let's discuss. One of Them Days, another hit. Hilarious. Go to the movies, take your bestie, and crack up. I'm going to go see that again. That honestly might be what I see next week. A Complete Unknown, 6888, The Brutalist. Now, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I've obviously seen Diary of a Mad Black Woman before, but I'm taking my boyfriend through Tyler Perry's cinema. Now, he's seen a lot of newer Tyler Perry things, but I don't think he's seen some of the older works of Tyler Perry. So I'm taking him back to the beginning. So we started with Diary of a Mad Black Woman, of course. So watch Diary of a Mad Black Woman. A Different Man, Flow, Wild at Heart, Sing Sing. It's here. Wait, let me go back. Wild at Heart, we went to, so we're not drinking. So we were going to a party. It was like starting at 11 p.m. And my boyfriend's like, well, we can't pregame, but like, what's something we can do to like not be sitting in the house till 11 p.m.? He found this film club called Film Noir, and every month somebody in the club like picks a movie. You don't know what it's gonna be until you go there. And so we went and saw a movie that was like down the street in this small little theater away from the club that we were going to that night. And we pre-gamed by watching a film. It was David Lynch film. He just passed away, so I it makes sense that's a movie that they saw. That was a crazy watch. I know of David Lynch. It's not my style of film, so I'm not like super engaged in his works, but it was very interesting to watch, to say the least. Sing Sing and then Nickel Boys. And I think we might as well go through like everything that's nominated for Best Picture because we're pretty close to it. So yes, that's been really fun too. I think I saw this TikTok of this girl talking about like people who are interesting do interesting things, or like hone in on something. So it's been really fun. Like, one, obviously I love acting, but to like really like indulge in film and like have references to directors and their styles and be able to talk about the movies that are out or the movies that are nominated, different things like that, it does feel interesting and like I have something to speak about. So when I see people recently, like obviously it's still the, oh, Happy New Year, how's your New Year going, and da-da-da-da, but then to be like, oh yeah, I've watched 14 films so far this year, like boom, she's interesting. Now, on to some of those goals I had. That was our initial YouTube video and kickoff to the 30-something club. Now, if you remember, a lot of those had to do with being consistent. A lot of bright ideas, a lot of zest for life, but like, what was I doing to be consistent in getting to where I wanted to be in life? And not enough. And this was the first month of me kicking into that routine to be a consistent girly and get the life that I want. Seriously. I realized a lot this month, and it's so much that I can control, and I'm glad I'm controlling the controllables now, okay? So it's been waking up early, it's been going to the gym twice a week, it's been taking my vitamins, it's been drinking more water, and it's been having a schedule for my content creation, for my YouTube channel, for my newsletter, for AW, for every aspect of my life that requires my attention. It has a schedule, it has a time, and it has a place. And to be honest with you guys, which I'm sure y'all already know, because y'all already ahead of the game, y'all already been doing this, it actually is easier. Life is actually flowing much easier now that I've given myself a routine and a schedule instead of like, well, what do I feel like working on today? And oh, what time will I get to this? Like, no, I know exactly what time I'm doing everything. I know what time I'm doing my laundry. I know what time I'm filming content. I know what time I'm editing. I know when things are going live. I actually feel so much more at peace and ease and less anxious than I did by going into this consistent routine. So it has been a huge help so far. We're 1 month in. Sticking consistent for 1 month is great. It's also the new year. Everyone has high energy to stick to goals, but like we got to keep it going now. So that, you know, I have been posting every week. 1 week almost got you, girl. 1 week almost got you, girl, but we came through regardless, and that's what I'm talking about. I am 21 days streak so far on my devotion, which I'm very happy about. There's just things, I'm just being consistent. I like my schedule. Obviously, I still leave room for spontaneity and life to happen, or me to be not feeling good or whatever have you, but for the most part, I just feel a lot more, actually, I feel more in control than ever before, and I love that. I'm also learning to detach myself from the results. Like, I have to just love what I'm doing again. Like, I have to just love what I'm doing and the way I'm deciding to show up, what I want to share. Like, it's been a fun activity in sitting down and really tapping in to understand what my actual passions are, what I want to share, what I want to put out into the world, and just loving it regardless of the results. So yes, one of my favorite videos on this channel has the lowest amount of views, but I really liked making the video, and I really liked that time that I did share with you all. And so that has to be enough, you know, for right now, that has to be enough. And so yeah, detaching myself from results and just loving the journey and the process, it just makes things feel better. It makes it feel lighter. It's taking off a certain pressure. I am still taking things seriously, and I still want to reach a certain level with everything that I'm making. But for right now, it's not about the results. It's about doing the thing. And that's how I even felt about Dry January. You know, for me, doing Dry January wasn't about a health goal or like detaching myself from alcohol or anything like that. Like, my brand is food and beverages. Like, your girl's going to have a drink. But it was more about discipline and being like, here's the thing that's a huge part of your life, your brand, you write about it, you go to events, most of your partnerships are about it. What does it look like to step away from it for 31 days? Can you do it? Or will you bend? Will you fold? I got reached out to by brands, which I thought I was going to say yes to for this, you know, because I'm like, oh, it's a part of the work. But in this trained in being disciplined right now. I was like, okay, this is the one thing I said I'm not going to do right now, so I'm just not going to do it. And I'm really proud of myself for coming on the other end of this. And I am excited. Like, it is a part of my job, so I am excited, you know, tomorrow to dive back in and see what new wines I try. There's been like 3 new wine bars that have popped up since I stopped drinking. I'm excited to try them out. And just, I've enriched my knowledge during this time. I've read up more on wine and regions and grapes and varieties. So I'm excited to take that into the next month. But I'm also very proud of myself for letting me go for 31 days. And I also tried some really cool mocktails and non-alcoholic beverages during this time, which I can also share with people, whether you are on a fully sober journey or you're just trying to cut back. I'm excited to share those things with y'all too. That's my little January check-in update with you all. I'm feeling a lot of things, which I think is fine, and give yourself room and grace to feel those things. But I am feeling confident about where I'm headed, and I'm feeling like my feet are planted. I feel like my heart and my mind are clear in a good way, if that makes sense. I don't know, that's the first word that came to my mind when I thought about it. And I'm feeling ready. I feel like in the years before, I wanted certain things for my life, but if I was being honest, maybe I didn't feel ready. But right now, I feel ready. So I'm feeling like, let's get it. Let's see what February brings. I'm nervous with Black History Month and all these DEI rollbacks, but we'll see, child. Excited for Valentine's Day. I know some people are like, if you love him every day, and still love a Valentine's Day. So I'm excited about that. One of my best friends, Skylar, her birthday is in February. My other best friend, Shima, she has a cool collab night, special thingy thing that I can't say yet, maybe not. So I'll wait until that will be in the vlog when it can be. So it's just some exciting things coming up in February, and we're gonna just keep hitting the ground running, babe. We're gonna keep staying consistent. We're gonna keep eating our greens. We're gonna keep drinking our water, and we're gonna be kind to ourselves and to others. And this is the 30-something club. I'm so happy that y'all are here. How the heck has your January been? What's going on? Did you make New Year's resolutions? Did you set out goals? How do you approach this month, and how are you feeling with how you're at now at the end of the month? Check in with yourself. You don't even gotta check in with me. I would love for you to check in with me. I'm here, I'm ready to talk, but if you don't want to check in with me, check in with yourself. Something like this. Filming your video that will go out tomorrow, which is like a recap of January. And yeah, this is the first one of best is yet to come here for you. And I'm proud of you, girl. You did dry January, and you did that, girl. You have 2 more days left. Berto's having a party tomorrow. You're here. 30-something club. Love y'all.